Kenya's president has announced at the end of a cabinet retreat that he and his entire cabinet will take pay cuts as part of austerity measures to reduce the country's rising wage bill.
Mindful of the rising public wage bill, my deputy and I will take a 20% pay cut, and our cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries have accepted a 10% pay cut with immediate effect.
Kenyatta said a new policy will restrict foreign journeys to only the most essential. He said rules will be enforced to reduce wasteful government spending. Kenya is spending close to $4.6 billion in salaries, leaving only $2.3 billion for development, Kenyatta said.
We are spending close to 400 billion shillings every year paying salaries. 400 billion. Now, if that is the amount that we are spending on paying salaries, it leaves us only from our own resources a figure of 200 billion within which to transform Kenya. Now you can see that that is not a ratio that is sustainable. And that is why we have said we must take this decision, we must lead by example.
The selection of luxurious Fairmount Mount Kenya Safari Lodge for the cabinet retreat has drawn criticism from local media who reported that it flouted a directive by the finance minister to use government facilities for meetings in order to cut on cost. When the Salaries and Remunerations Commission was formed in 2012 to review and determine the salaries of all public workers, the commission cut the president's annual pay from around $340,000 to $185,000 a year. Kenya's wage bill ballooned following additional levels of government that were introduced by the adoption of the 2012 Constitution, which among other things introduced 47 county government with elective offices that require recruitment of additional staffs. Kenyan legislators have been criticized for pushing for higher pay despite earning more than $15,000 a month in salary and allowances, while the average Kenyan earns just $1,500 a year. Many Kenyans consider their legislators overpaid and greedy. The Salaries Commission has argued that although Kenya is among the world's poorest economies, its legislators are earning more than those in France. The president also urged Kenyan MPs, who are among the highest paid in Africa, to accept pay cuts. The issue of politicians' pay in Kenya has always been a sensitive one. In 2012, Kenyan lawmakers had voted to give themselves a pay rise, a move that immediately sparked a series of protests and demonstrations from civil society groups and activists. Few weeks after he was elected in March 2013, President Kenyatta promised to reduce the country's public sector wage bill significantly. In June, the MPs reluctantly agreed to slash their annual pay by about 40% from $120,000 to $75,000. President Kenyatta's basic salary is $14,000 a month. With the new 20% wage reduction, he will be taking home a little over $11,000 a month.